Seeing that, I was at the screening, so I got to see
Cool.
the pilot, and what stood out to me was probably possible influences. Like when I mean, the pitch reminds me of Twin Peaks, but there's
Yeah.
nothing very Twin Peaks about
Yeah.
the rest of it besides the setup. I mean, she's no Agent Cooper,
She's not. She doesn't drink coffee.
but stylistically, it looked like giallo films or
yeah.
like Argento, like that.
Especially
hello.
the hotel.
Goodness
that,
me.
that
Yeah.
sort of thing,
Yeah.
the dark
Yeah.
shadows,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
would you call it like a neo-noir,
Yeah.
or how would you classify
Yeah.
it?
Or yeah. I would.
You know, the Twin
Neo-Noir,
Peaks.
for sure.
The
Twin
Twin
Peaks
Peaks
was a big.
emerges more in episode 2.
Yeah.
It's the episode 1, and the concept pilot that you saw is it's a different vibe than what the show quickly becomes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
definitely, I think we were just talking.
We try to ground it a bit more in the front end and sort of Friedkin or whatever you call it, William Friedkin. Did you say Friedkin or Friedkin?
Friedkin.
Friedkin. He was a big influence, that sort of 70s kind of
I got a very
crime
70s
thriller.
vibe.
Yeah.
Like
we just shoot it on 35mm as well, so that I'm sure a lot of that sort of led into like visually just how you.
well,
how
it
you
helps
take
with
it in.
the blacks, the
Yeah.
the
Oh,
yeah.
shadows.
Yeah. And there's obviously the grain in there that we're used to for those movies. But yeah, and Lynch was definitely it definitely becomes more Lynchian as we go on throughout the limited series that we've created. But yeah, it's something that we're very proud of.
My sort of, I guess, rule for myself writing it was just that, like, if I'm gonna put Alice in Wonderland, then I want to spend at least a bit of time with her world before she goes down the rabbit hole, so that when she arrives there, we're kind of excited, that we get a good sense of what she's leaving behind.
Her world kind of sucks.
The world kind of sucks. And then where she goes is worse than that, and that's the fun part.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm trying to think. There was another director that I feel like we were talking about, but Josh is like very attached to the films of the '70s. The
Yeah.
French Connection.
Yeah, French Connection was quite a big. Yeah,
Yeah.
was a
I
bit. I
kinda
wanted
got-
her. She's. I would, I immediately sort of thought, okay, long lens. We're gonna sort of the walls. We want the walls closing in on her. I want to shoot her through doorways and windows and different perspectives. So she's always being watched. I want the feeling of her being watched because basically she's being led down. Into the hole, and when she arrives to this little town called Hammerall, we realize that these people are up to no good, and so there's horror. We're playing with a few genres, horror, and it sort of bleeds into fantasy, horror, and there's a good dusting of humor, but in the very capable hands of this writer here, because he's super talented, and yeah.
So what gave you the idea then? What was it? Just one spooky night?
It
You were
was
like,
a friend
what?
of mine shared
Found
an
an
article
article,
with people. You read things, and I came across an article through a friend, and I thought, oh, this could be a great jumping off point for a show. And then I pinged it to this guy because I thought there's only one person I know who would be able to make it go a step further than the typical whodunit, because on the page it should and could be a whodunit, and it is.
Yeah.
But it needs to be something more than the typical whodunits that we've seen. And so we kicked some ideas back and forth, and then Connor took it to a new level and created an incredible female protagonist that we want to root for. That's deeply flawed, and we want to go on the journey with her because we kind of think she kicks ass, and
We do.
yeah.
I think Josh also, one of the wonderful things about him as a filmmaker is he's not afraid of blending genres. And maybe it's because he's a Brit, but Americans sometimes really want to stick to, okay, if it's a drama, it's this, if it's horror, it's this. And
The video store kind of
exactly.
concept, the genre.
The genre comes first.
Yeah.
And I feel that our lives all contain multitudes, and throughout a day we may be in a rom-com, and then we're in a tragedy, and then before we go to bed it's a horror film, and then back to a
It's
drama.
never a rom-com.
It's never a rom-com. And Josh understands that. And like, it's very hard to not find something to make him giggle, no matter what the situation is. And I thought, if you're going to tell like a really depressing story, then you have to be able to laugh at it too.
Absolutely.
I think independently we can afford to take a bigger swing, right? We're not under, and no one's giving us notes. And so it's Connor can have at it and write these big characters, and we can, we just also have very similar taste, and so we are inspired by similar filmmakers and writers and projects, and so I think when your tastes align, you can kind of go down the road and really like have fun. We really just have fun. I mean, we're working, as friends. And no one told us to do it. We wanted to do it, and so we were empowered by that. Even to the point of trying to shoot it on 35mm, which was insane. And so
it's unusual.
Yeah, unusual, but it lended itself to the project in that
it did,
without giving the whole show away. There's a huge essence of timelessness, particularly with the characters that we find in the town. And so, like a photograph, they never die, unless you burn it. So I like the idea of it being captured on celluloid, because innately we see an analog picture that's it never dies. There's something timelessness. There's something timeless about it, and like a memory. It should feel like the past. Whereas digital, I think that what we're doing now, that just renders, there's so many. It's immediate. Yeah, and so it's different. And
I wouldn't recommend shooting the whole thing without playback and without dailies.
Which is what we did.
We did that. That wasn't, we just sort of. I've never been more nervous than when we sent our film back from Louisiana to LA.
Yeah.
Never having seen
a frame. Is it in focus? Is it? I mean,
and just being like, well,
that's how Werner Herzog shoots.
That's also a massive influence. Yeah,
the master.
He is the master.
But we were in the very capable hands of Daniel Katz, who's an incredible DP and makes us all look fantastic. And he's shot, all from 16mm through to 35. So.
Well, that shot in the swamp where the cop gets out with the flashlight, that's the shot that I knew they used film for that, because
you saw it, the red,
of course,
and the grain and the camera kind of struggling to actually
keep up,
put something on
the light.
film.
I mean, we got some beautiful things. There are like 2 cuts that we use in that is just the film running out, and we just use that as a cut point. Because it timed out perfectly, and that type of just pop out of it. There's a jarring element to it, and we were editing.
Were there a couple like sprocket holes that I?
Okay, you just see. I mean, we were banging that thing. We were out in the back of a pickup truck, just me and him and my DP. For a couple of those days, just off schedule shooting and being chased around.
The B-roll stuff you see was just us driving around.
Yeah, transitional shots we had to pick up. So I mean, we were
us through walkie-talkies yelling, "Is it in focus, Dan?" And him being like, "Yeah."
We were an indie TV pilot.
Yeah,
it sounds fun.
It was a lot of fun. We'd do it tomorrow in a heartbeat.
This was in Louisiana, which automatically has sort of a mysticism to it.
Yeah.
I wanted to set it in Florida, but he was very adamant about Louisiana. And then luckily our production team, through they had just finished working on a show called Boots for Netflix. And when I called Nick Logan, who's one of our producers on it, and pitched him this idea, he said, well, I got a crew for you in Louisiana if you want to shoot New Orleans. And I went, oh, God. Yeah.
So he's like, Josh, we're doing, that show we were working on a couple of years ago during COVID? We're going to go shoot that in a few weeks. I'm like, what? Like, we got a crew up, like cast.
We were zooming his DP in Ireland.
Yeah.
And at like 3 o'clock in the morning as they tried to put a shot list together. It was great.
I mean, just bonkers.
Was it the Your Honor people?
People from Your Honor, from Sinners, Iron Claw, Boots.
Yeah. We actually had a location from, I didn't know where Sinners was. I knew it was shot in Louisiana, but we were like scouting.
They had just wrapped.
Okay.
And did you see the whole piece?
I saw the. I mean, and I saw.
Do you see our show?
Yeah.
Yeah, those row houses.
Those row houses.
Yeah.
That was
That's in
like,
Sinners as well.
That is like the
Okay.
opening and closing of Sinners.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just us finding it, in between sugar canes and
Organically.
Yeah.
Very organically.
And we're not local. Our producer, one of our lead producers, Brittany Fallow, is local in New Orleans and Shreveport, so she knows the area. But we don't.
Google Earth is a
and yeah,
very,
we were
very,
just sort
very
of-
good shout out to Google Earth.
we had a great pivot, and stands in for the town, that exterior of that hotel in the swamp. Behind that, it's in a park, and behind that house, it's quite developed. It's roads, and it's not. We wanted something dense, so this way with the swamp looks unbelievable. This way looks
Like a
completely
suburb.
civilized.
Yeah.
So we realized when we got there, like, oh no, we can't use this for her approach. So then that last minute, we were like, well, what do we do? Okay, now she has to come by water. Okay, now we have to find a canoe.
This was on the last day.
This was the last day, and now we got to find a place for her to get in the canoe. So we drove around as the sun was setting, and then threw him in the canoe because we needed someone to row it.
Don't recommend any of this, right? But
It worked.
sometimes magic does happen, and we got very lucky.
Sounds
and
mosquito-y.
It was
Oh, it
mosquito.
was.
Yeah, we were that
It was.
those last few shots. We were
Yeah,
getting
we
absolutely
were destroyed.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm interested in like the future of this. I mean, regardless of what happens with the competition, it sounds like you guys have something planned here to.
Well, we wrote the whole show, so we know where it's going, and the second we get enough support financially to get the wheels rolling, we still have a crew. We shot this end of 2024 or the fall of 2024, and they still reach out pretty regularly, being like, "Hey, man, when are we making the rest of the show?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So they're ready to go, and I really want to come through for them.
Well, I've
So-
seen like pilot ideas where they do similar things to what you guys did, a monster off screen or something like that,
Yeah.
but they don't actually know. They just kind of paint themselves into a corner and hopefully it hooks, somebody. But it sounds like you guys know what was making that noise.
Oh, we know.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that scene is it doesn't really that doesn't really exist in the show. That was specifically for the concept pilot to just let people know where
it's
we're going.
sort of going,
gets
yeah.
a bit supernatural.
Okay.
But yeah, no, we know exactly what is in the swamp, and it's weird.
Sounds great. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with it because there's nothing else kind of like this.
No, not right now. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I was one of maybe the comps in a way, but very different aesthetic would be maybe Widow's Bay. But
They're going for like funny
yeah,
first,
yes,
right?
Yes, but I'm, in terms of, and it's more supernatural than where our show goes. But yeah, it's unique, and that's a good thing. In that, I don't think there is anything like it.
We also didn't set out to make a TV show. We just set out to try to tell a story,
Yeah.
and then that story we decided is going to take a few hours to tell. We don't want to tell this in 2 hours. I think we want to tell it in like 6. So I there's something about I think things appearing organically rather than because of a mandate or because of a time slot that needs to be
Commercial
filled.
break.
Yeah, or like,
Yeah.
hey, we need this because we have these 5 shows and we're missing this kind of comedy or we're missing this kind of drama. This is the way it is because that's what we thought was best. So that's why it's weird.
Well, I don't mean this in any kind of insulting way, but it looks like it wouldn't be that expensive to make.
No, we shot that for about $60,000. Now that is with getting a lot of favors, a lot of help. But our hope is to shoot an entire season for about the price of an independent film, and we think we can make. We
That's
really believe
under 5 million.
Yeah, we can make. I know we can make
episodes.
this series for less money than your big streamers, your Apples, your HBOs would spend on one episode. I
And
know
that's
that for a
simply
fact.
from leveraging our own, artistic connections from, pre all the way through to post production. So
And it helps that we don't get paid.
this is true.
That's
This is
really
true.
helpful.
No one's getting paid
Like
on it.
it helps that we just,
But everyone's in it to create something, from scratch, and that everyone, has, and also a bit of ownership in it, right? Where we, that's how we want to sort of go about our business with this, and I think that's why everyone wants to kind of literally be a part of something and have some ownership rather than just be a day, come in and just do a piece and bugger off home. they actually care where it's, where it's going and how we're going about it. So that's the idea with it. But we're huge fans of independent film and television, and hopefully, I feel bullish. So I feel we're confident, and hopefully we find a partner or several to
Well,
go,
after
go through.
your investment clears, we're going to be
Yeah,
good.
exactly.
We're
Thanks
very
for that.
excited. That was very nice.
That's nice, $1 million
That
bucks.
check, just notice that
Appreciate
that check was post-dated 10 years.
Well, I did. I wanted to
Thank
talk
you
to you
so
about
much.
that. Yeah.
It's very nice talking to you guys.
too, man.
I
Thank
wish you
you.
luck with the
Cheers.
show
Thank
and
you.
everything in the
Thanks, mate.
future.
Thank you
It's
for
nice
coming, and thanks for the
meeting
interview.
you.
Nice to meet
Appreciate
you
you.
too, mate. Cheers.